Hi, welcome to day one of the 21-day Sun Salutation Challenge. My name is Nsinga Oniwasan, and I will be your host. I'm an experienced 500-hour registered yoga teacher, and I'm really excited about this. This challenge leads up to International Yoga Day, which is an international challenge that started about 12 years ago with respect to celebrating the beautiful benefits of yoga. And it lands actually on the summer solstice. And so typically on International Yoga Day, what we do is 108 sun salutations. And I'll get into what the significance of 108 is in another clip. I want to make sure that we can take all this information in doses. So typically on that day, we do 108 sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. So there are lots of Surya Namaskars. Traditionally, the ones that we typically see is Surya Namaskar A, B, and C. C going for classical. And for this first week of this challenge, what I'll be doing is teaching you a variety of sun salutations so that you can approach that 108 in a sustainable way. We will be increasing by 6 every day for the next 21 days. And the goal is that by the time we reach 108, it'll be June 21st. With that being said, I will talk about how you can manage what that will look like for you the day of. It could be 108 combination of sun salutations and japas or mantras. It could be a combination of all the sun salutations that I'm going to learn, which is going to be the goal because you're having an International Day Yoga celebration in Fort Lauderdale, which will be also broadcasting live. So, today's sun salutation is going to be a half sun salutation. And it's just a great way for all of us to get into our body. Key poses here are mountain pose, upward salute, forward fold, half forward fold, and then reverse that out. Now, although we're not getting any weight bearing in this particular practice, this is great for stretching the back of our leg, our back body, and just starting to learn how to connect the practice to our breath. Sun salutations are a powerful way for us to really be grounded in our practice. I always say it's a great foundation for your practice. And so I want you to consider how this practice is going to possibly look for you in the next 21 days. And so do a check-in and pause this video. I have some questions for you after these questions. Is where are you right now? How are you feeling in your body? How are you feeling in your thoughts? And what do you want to land with? What is your intention for this practice over the course of the next 21 days? I think one of the most beautiful things that I love about Surya Namaskar is that it really becomes a moving meditation because of repetitiveness of the movements. And so you can really find yourself in a super concentrative state as you move through the asanas alongside your breath. So let's just take a moment to settle into space, feel where we are in our bodies, and let's get started with this first day. Closing your eyes if that resonates with you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out. And do that a few more times. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And just begin to notice how you feel on your body. Noticing those places that feel open and available to the journey that we're going to take. And just also then shift your attention to those places that have growth edges, those places that may need some kindness and compassion as we move through this journey. Take another long inhale through your nose and then sigh it out. And start to find your Ujjayi breath, slightly closing out the back of your throat to bring sound to your inhale and your exhale, which is going to happen through your nose. On your inhale, and then exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A few more times, just like that. And slowly feel your eyes open if they were closed. And let's get started. Okay, one of the things I sometimes suggest bringing into this practice is blocks, particularly when in those forward folds, especially if you have tightness around your hamstrings. So we're going to find ourselves into a standing position. I'm going to face you for the first couple of rounds, but typically we're going to start this half sun salutation um, facing the front of our mat. So I'm going to be in the middle just so that you have a visual here. And remember, for this one, there's barely any weight bearing unless you're considering that push through as we find length through our spine. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to start in this direction so you can see what I mean when we're here. So we're going to find our mountain pose. And so for mountain pose, I suppose we're going to kind of consider and focus in on today. There are two traditional ways of approaching it. Traditional way number one is your big toes touch, your heels are slightly apart, and you want to bring the outside blades of your feet parallel with each other. And then from here, you're going to root through your feet, root down to lift up. From here, you're going to find your neutral in terms of your pelvis and spinal alignment. And you're going to start to pull in through your mula bandha. So some of the things I like to say is think that you want to pee and you don't want to let yourself pee, or you want to do a Kegel. So you're going to pull up. And then from there, from this bottom part of your pelvis, you're going to start to shift your attention through your navel. And now you're going to draw your navel in as well. And as you're drawing that navel in, you're going to lift up. You're going to roll the shoulders down and back. Press the hands down to the sides of the body, and the fingertips are holding together. And your drishti is going to be looking forward. Now, for some people, this foot positioning might not work well. So let me talk you through that again. So the idea is we're going to root to rise. Maybe you're bringing your feet hip distance apart, particularly if you have thicker thighs like myself. It might not just feel good to be in that position. And so your feet are about hip distance apart. So what you want to do is find that bony part of your hip and then stack your feet just right inside of there. All right. And then so from there, we're going to ground through our feet. Sometimes I say, well, if we want to find the activation through our feet, we're going to pull the big toe towards the heels, and that's going to activate the foot a little bit more. Now, as you're rooting down through your feet to lift yourself up, you're going to start to pull the lower part of your pelvis to draw that up. Just like that. And then on your next exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine, and then actively lift up from here. So we're trying to wrap this whole part of our body in. Think of our corset, which means we're going to bring the breath into the upper parts of our chest as we keep that lower part activated. We're pressing the shoulders down. We're pressing the hands down towards the ground. And we're going to find our Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. And that's our mountain pose. All right, so that was our pose to focus in on today. Now let's get into the practice. So you're going to meet me at the top of your mat, finding the position for your feet that resonates with you the most. And then you're going to find your alignment, pressing those shoulders down, pressing through the root to rise. On your inhale, bring the arms up, palms touch, and your drishti, this is where we look, is towards the thumbs. Now on your exhale, you're going to hinge from your hips, softening your knees as you go down if you need it to tap in. And you're going to find your forward fold. Now for your forward fold, there's a couple options here. You can use the blocks, or you can touch the ground in front of you. On your next inhale, your neck can touch your shins, or you can find the blocks, and you're going to lengthen the spine and start to look forward. And if it resonates with you, can you find the full length of the back of your legs here? Great. Now we're going to fold back in, bringing the hands down to the ground on the blocks in the lower position. And then we're going to reverse it out. Sweep the arms all the way up, palms above the head. Look at your hands. And then exhale the hands down to the sides of the body. We are officially in stage one. All right, so let's do that again. Inhale, one. Palms touch. Look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, hinging out the hips. If you can keep the legs long here, keep them long, but we're just starting off. So bend those knees, forward fold. On your inhale, bringing your hands to your blocks to lengthen or pressing your hands into the shins to lengthen the spine forward. Notice if your weight is in the back of your heels, can you bring the weight in an even place on your feet? Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you soften your knees here again. Inhale, reversing it out. Upward salute or Tadasana. And then exhale the hands down to Samastiti Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, palms go up. We're at 3. Looking at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Finding the hands to the ground. You might be a little bit more open here so you can work them more back. On your inhale, lengthen up. Find your hands to your shins. Adha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reverse it out. Palms above the head. And exhale the hands down. We're halfway there. Let's keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 4 and 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Upward salute. Exhale. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale. Adho Uttanasana. Exhale. Uttanasana. Inhale. Reverse it all the way up. Palms above the head. Exhaling. Hands down to the sides of the body. And breathe. Okay. So that was our first Half Sun Salutations. How are you feeling? Starting to build some heat. You don't even have to touch the ground here. And so one of the things I want you to think is that breath is key to this practice, because when Surya Namaskar, we're building the heat from the inside out. And Ujjayi breath is an oceanic breath that cultivates that bringing forth of heat from the inside out. So we'll talk a little bit more as we move through the practice, how to connect your prana to this practice, so that we can really find the full benefits of it. So check in, go to the Facebook group. Don't forget to post this practice, and I look forward to seeing you for day 2.